Hello everybody, and welcome to the video where I talk about the new rules coming into Battleground Minecraft. We are heading into our 5th season. The 5th season is going to start in April. The signups for the 5th season will be around May, and that is also when the draft will be. But yeah, before I actually talk about everything, I just want to say thank you to anyone who has supported me throughout the years, supported the league, supported the channels, and anything else that I do. To everyone who's in the league or been in a video, I really appreciate it. And anybody that's in the league now, has been in the league, or anybody that will be in the league in the future, I also want to say, give you my biggest thank yous. Without you guys, I can't do a league, I can't do a show. And I also want to give out a special thanks to Abu and TNZ Skull. Those two are the two that mainly help me build everything, from the arena to all the mini games to, you know, with the rules and stuff of each game. So without them, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. Now, with all that out of the way, the first thing that I want to say is there's going to be a new team coming into Season 5. And no, it is not the Galactic Grizzlies that I am talking about. And it is not an 8th team coming into the league. No. There will be 7 teams, and the new team coming in is going to be a team that already exists, but they are getting a new identity. They are getting a new name, and they are getting a new animal to represent them. The only thing that's going to stay the same is their team color. So without further ado, and some people may not like this, but this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit. Without further ado, say goodbye to the Venomous Vipers, and say hello to the Apex Alligators. They will be coming into the league alongside the Galactic Grizzlies as the new teams in Season 5. Now, without further ado, here I will be reading through the rules that I have in front of me. I will say that the rulebook I will make available in the Discord for anyone to just read through it. But yeah, you can also just come back and listen to this video for the rules. I will stop a few points and talk about certain rules that need a little bit more explanation. But yeah, so here we go. Regular season rules. Each season will consist of a 14-week, 42-episode regular season. So it's being increased from 10 weeks to 14 weeks and 42 episodes in the regular season. That's obvious, but yeah, all teams will play one match each week. Each teams will meet each other twice in the regular season. All teams get a bye week in the first half and second half of the regular season. Now, if you don't know what a bye week is, it's basically a week where you just don't play. So within the first 7 weeks, you're not going to play in one of those weeks. Same thing for the second half. So, but the way it's going to be structured is that, say if your team doesn't play in the first week, then your team is not going to play in the 8th week. So, kind of like, it's a nice balance of like knowing when you're going to play and when you're not going to play. So that does mean that out of the 14 weeks, you're going to be playing 12 of them. Each episode will be a team v team game. Each episode will be a different minigame / challenge. The challenges could be anything. Teams are not allowed to know what challenges they will be playing until it's game day. Teams must follow all the rules of the games they are playing. Every game only requires 2 players on each team, including the playoffs. This was a rule last year. That rule's not going to change. The winners of an episode will be awarded a battle flag to place on their wall. All challenges in the regular season will be best of 5 games, meaning you must win 3 out of the 5 rounds in order to win a battle flag. If a team wins the first 3 rounds of a challenge, they win the entire episode. However, we will then move on to sudden death. In sudden death, we will play round 4 and round 5 if needed. If a team gets swept, meaning they have lost all 5 rounds in the challenges, that team loses 1 battle flag. And if you watch Season 4, it is possible to go into the negatives. If multiple players on a team are present for a challenge, that team can switch players in between rounds. Now, obviously, the team, this part of the rule wasn't clarified. Only the team captain can make the substitutions. The only way that doesn't go into play is if the team captain's not there. Therefore, the teams themselves would then have to discuss among themselves who's going in, who's going out. But generally, the team captain is the one who makes the substitutions of like, who's playing and who's not playing. Now, this is a new thing. All games will be played on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, starting between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this is a new rule because usually I did the scheduling where it was like you had the whole week to film. That is still kind of like that this time around, except you're supposed to play on either a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Wednesday. And if you don't, we'll get to the next part here. If an episode is not recorded on game day, then it will be moved to be filmed either on a Thursday through between Thursday and Sundays when you have the chance to make up for that video. If the episode is not filmed then, it'll be cancelled. A team may receive a battle flag if one team is completely MIA during the week. So yeah, so you're supposed to play on either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday night. If you don't, we will reschedule it to between Thursday and Sunday of that week, and if it's not filmed then, it's just not going to be filmed. And if one team is just completely, not active during the week, and the other is, then that team will get a battle flag. Alright, another thing coming into the league is that we are adding an all-star event. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me, we are adding an all-star event. And here is the Battleground Minecraft All-Star Spleef game rules. Starting week 10 and lasting until the end of week 14, you will be able to vote for 2 players on each team who you think has played the best throughout the season. Teams must have a minimum of 3 battle flags by week 10 in order to qualify for the All-Star game. So, that's quite clear. Your team needs to have 3 or more flags, or otherwise nobody on your team can participate in the All-Star game. You have to have it by week 10. The players who are voted in will be the season's All-Stars and will be invited to participate in the All-Star Spleef Challenge. This event will be live streamed on Twitch and then posted onto the YouTube channel afterwards. In this event, all players will compete in a variety of free-for-all Spleef challenges. A maximum of 15 games will be played. The player who wins the most games will be crowned the All-Star Spleef Champion and will be awarded the All-Star Trophy. Now, why am I doing this? Well, mainly because there were a couple of people in the league who didn't like the amount of Spleef games there were in the league. Now, I do like the Spleef games, but to make myself happy and keep them happy, the All-Star game is going to be where all the Spleef challenges are. So obviously the All-Star game does not affect your regular season or your postseason, stuff. It's just a nice little, fun thing that we do. It's an All-Star game, and this is what the trophy is going to look like. Or this is what the trophy is going to be every All-Star game, unless they change it. But this is what the planned trophy for the winner of the All-Star Spleef Challenge is. Alright, let's move on to the Battleground playoff rules. The teams that placed 1st through 5th at the end of the regular season will move on to the playoffs. The teams that placed 6th and 7th with the least amount of flags at the end of the regular season will be disqualified and cannot participate in the Battleground playoffs. At the end of the regular season, if there's a tie in flags for the 5th seat, then the teams who tied will enter the tiebreaker round, which will be an all-out team death battle. The winners will get their spot in the playoffs. A tiebreaker game will also commence if 2 or more teams are tied for the 1st seat. The winner of that match will earn the 1st seat. Now, you'll understand why in a minute, but to anyone who's seen the first season, the 1st seat, the team that got the 1st seat went straight to the semifinals, and we're bringing that back, and I'll explain that right now. So, playoff games are going to be more than just best of 5 games, but here we go. The team that earns the 1st seat goes straight to the semifinals. The team that earns the 2nd through 5th seats will go to the wild card, which are best of 3 series. In the wild card, the 2nd and 5th seat will face each other, and the 3rd and 4th seat will face each other. The winners of the 2-5 and 3-4 matches will go against each other in the semifinals. So, to break it down a little more, the 2nd and 5th seat will go against each other in the series, and the 3rd and 4th seat will go against each other in the series. The teams that win those advance to the semifinals, and they will face each other. But we don't go to the semifinals just yet. The losers of the 2 wildcard series will then face off in a final wildcard series. The winner will move on to face the 1st seed in the semifinals. Now, the playoffs will then follow as standard. There will be 2 best-of-5 semifinal series, and the teams that win the semifinals will go to the Battleground finals, which will also be a best-of-5. And the winners of Battleground Minecraft will be awarded the seasonal trophy and will earn the title of Battleground champions. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I just want to see more happen in the postseason. You know, 2 best-of-5 semifinals and finals, that's all dandy, but I just want to see more action in the postseason. I want to see more teams fighting for a chance at, you know, the end goal of winning that trophy, and just being a champion. So, that's partially why I added the Galactic Grizzlies as a 7th team, because it would enable me to allow the 5th team a chance, the 5th place spot, to earn a chance at the title. Now, this is a brand new thing coming to the league, so pay attention. Contracts, signing and cutting players. During each draft, team captains will select players who signed up for the draft. There will be a mandatory 1-round draft selection, and then after that, if a team has open spots and wants to select more players, they may do so. The first round of draft selection is determined by every team's placement of the previous season. Whoever ended in 7th will get the first pick, 6th will get the second pick, and then so on and so forth. Unless a new team is added, which the Grizzlies are being added, the new team that season will get the last pick. Every other round, if a team chooses to select players, then it will be decided randomly. And here's what I mean by that. So, break it down a little more. If you won the championship in the previous season, you're getting the last pick. Now, that's not going to apply to this season. As stated, the Grizzlies are coming in, so they're going to get the last pick. But since the Tigers won the championship, they will get the 6th pick in the first round of the draft. The Dragons are going to be getting the first pick in the draft since they had the worst record, the least amount of flags last season. They all have a 1-round mandatory. They have to select somebody from the first round. The only reason that they would not be able to is because they don't have enough players, or excuse me, they already have like a full squad of people and they don't want to cut anybody. But besides that, the first round is mandatory. You have to sign somebody. All teams may have a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 players. So yes, every team is going to get an extra slot in Season 5 for another player. Team captains are given 1 hour to select a player. If a team captain does not select a player within the allotted time, then a player will be selected for them randomly. Also, just real quick, after the first round of the mandatory draft selection, every other round, if teams want to select players again, then it's going to be the order of what they, of who selects will just be decided randomly. But yeah, if a team all players who are put on a new team via the draft will be given 3 seasons free of charge to play. If a player who is already on a team enters the draft, it gets put back on the same team, that person will not get a new 3 seasons to play unless they have already played their original 3 seasons. Now this happened in Season 4. Soph, who was on the Pipples, she was on the Pipples in Season 3. She wanted to go to a new team in Season 4, but she got put back on the Pipples. She is, she had 3 seasons. When she left, it's now down to 2 seasons, and really she's down to 1 season now. So if she tried to sign up again and got put back on the Pitbulls, she would have 1 season left to play. But that's why I'm doing that, just so that people aren't getting a bunch of 3 seasons free to play. After those free seasons are over, players will have 2 options on continuing to play in the league. Players may either sign up for next season's draft free of charge, which will most likely result in you playing for a different team, or if you would like to remain on your team, you can purchase contract extensions ranging from 1 to 5 seasons. Contract extensions are 1 year is $10, 2 years is $15, 3 years is $20, 4 years is $25, 5 years is $30. Contract extensions may only be signed after the end of the previous contract. Once a contract has been signed, it's final and can't be undone unless you become unable to participate in the league. Refunds will be given if the participant gives valid reasoning and foresees themselves being unable to participate for a long period of time. In this case, the appropriate amount of money will be refunded. Example, if you signed a 5-year contract for $30, only played 1 season, and you can't play anymore for actual serious reasons, you'll be refunded $25, and so on and so forth. Or if you signed a 4-year deal for $25 but become unable to play the 4th season, you'll be refunded $5. Or if you're unable to play 1 out of the 4 seasons, then you'll just get refunded the money, appropriate money. Now, when I say when it says that valid reasoning, you won't be refunded if you're just like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. That's not a valid reasoning. I mean, like, if something actually has happened to you, where it's like you physically or mentally or whatever cannot take the time to play in this league, like you have to go and prioritize something else that's more important than this, then you will be refunded the appropriate amount of money if you didn't play in the season. I'm not refunding people who are just like, yeah, no, I just don't want to do it anymore after they signed a contract. That's not happening. That's too bad, so sad. All payments can be made via Cash App or PayPal for contract extensions. These links can be found at the top of the Discord page, or you may ask OTJ for the links directly. All current players in the league are kept track of how many seasons they've been on a team. This rule will apply to any player who has been with the team for 3 seasons. During the season, be it the draft or regular season, team captains may only cut 1 player from their roster who is not under a paid contract. If a player is cut from the team, that individual will become a free agent. During the regular season, team captains may sign 1 player onto their roster via free agency. If a player is signed during the regular season via free agency, that player will only be given 1 season free to play with that team. So, signing and cutting players will end after the 7th week. So, if you get cut from a team, you're not banned from the league, you're just going to become a free agent. If you're signed onto a team via free agency, then you're just going to get that 1 season to play with that team. And this is also a new rule coming to the league. Trophy eligibility. In order to receive the trophy, aside from winning the season, all players must participate in a certain amount of games throughout the season. There are 3 options which players may take in order to become eligible to receive the trophy. Option A, 6 regular season games plus 4 playoff games. Option B, 9 regular season games. Option C, all playoff games. So option A requires players to participate in 6 out of their 12 regular season games and 4 playoff games, so a total of 10 games. Yeah, a total of 10 games overall. Option B requires players to participate in 9 out of their 12 regular season games. And then option C requires players to participate in every playoff game the team is involved in. So once you complete one of these three options, then you're good. If you play 9 regular season games and like only 1 playoff game, wouldn't matter because you played the 9 regular seasons. If you only played 2 regular season games, but you'd play every playoff game, you'd still get the trophy. But yeah, this is because I don't want to give a trophy to somebody who doesn't do shit. Like, to put it lightly, I don't want to spend my money that I'm using for the trophy to give it to somebody who hasn't played in the league or isn't doing anything. Now, I am going to be stern about these rules. I'm not going to do it if you, like, play 5 regular season games and 3 playoff games. Like, that's the mark you have to hit. Either 6 regular season and 4 playoffs, 9 regular seasons, or every playoff game. That's what the standard is going to be, that you have to show up for these games. If you sign up for the league, I expect you to play in the league. If a team participates in a tiebreaker game, it will count as a regular season game. The All-Star game will not count towards your eligibility. All active players will be tracked for game participations. Failure to complete one of the 3 options will simply deem you unable to receive the season's trophy, but it will not strip you from your title of Battleground champion should you win that season. So, yeah, I'm not going to be a complete asshole and say, you know, you weren't on the team that won the season. I'm still going to label you like a champion. You're just not going to get the trophy if you don't complete one of the 3 criterias for the trophy eligibility. But yeah, guys, that is all the rules that are coming in Season 5. I know it's a lot to take in, and I just spoke a lot, but this league means a lot to me, and I want to take care of it. And some of these things are permanent. Well, a lot of these things are going to be permanent rule changes. Some of these are going to be rules we're trying out, see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll get rid of it. But I hope you guys are excited for the 5th season. We're working really hard to make it the best season it can be. Me, Abu, and Skull, we're working to make the season really good, more entertaining, better games, and yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see it. But with that being said, my name is OTJ, and I'll see you in Season 5. Peace out, guys.